let me go and open this bad boy up. Dude, you know, I should figure out. I've been telling myself I'm going to figure out why it crashes when I switch scenes, but I never did it. I'm probably still never going to do it. I don't give a fuck. Who cares? Who gives a shit, man? Okay. Hello? Hey, Sky, I called you.
Wait, I'm already in a call.
Oh, okay.
Wait.
You called.
Let me call you, and then I'll drag everyone else in. Okay.
Okay.
All
PewDiePie,
right,
what's going on, man? It's nice to meet you for the first time over the internet.
Hey, it's nice to meet you too, dude. Dude, what's going on? I just had some fantastic games of League of Legends. I gotta say, some real bangers. Really loved them.
I saw the last game.
Did you? Oh, man, I really hope you watched that shit real intensely, because it was fucking great. I really enjoyed it.
Now, the one thing that I know about your stream, because I drop in from time to time, I mean, even before I jumped into League of Legends, you always have, like, the best playlist out of all of Twitch.
That's what you had to say about I had the best gameplay, the best attitude.
hold on.
That was loud.
Get on Skype, man.
I'm muted.
You said not the best gameplay, the best attitude, the best personality. You said the best music, something that doesn't even not even directly related to me. You can come on.
Well, before I would before I knew a lot about League of Legends, that's all I had to go off. I'm like, all right, this guy's got a good taste in music.
You never watch me and you're like, wow, this guy's got a good take on life. This guy's got a really killer attitude. Really enjoy watching him. Nothing like that.
Come on, bro. No, I'm not getting into this with you. Gave me a compliment, you gotta take it.
All right, I'll take the compliment, dude. Yeah, I'm just a little on edge after my game, dude. So don't mind me.
You're on tilt a little bit.
Yeah, a little, just slightly. Hey,
okay.
We're gonna reel
it back in. We're gonna reel it back in for a nice, relaxed talk show.
Yeah, just forget all the negative vibrations going through. Sky, are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Nadeshot, you ready?
I'm ready to go, man. Let's jump into it.
All right, let's fucking go straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only I'm a Cutie Pie here with you today. The soon-to-be Master Tier player joining Scar at this fucking rate, dude. Episode number 98 of Beyond the Rim. 98. Wow. I'm just making.
Really?
I've been making up numbers. I have no idea. I've been making up numbers this whole fucking time. I don't think anyone. I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty sure most people that watch the VOD skip over the start of the intro. So I'm just fucking throwing in numbers. If someone wants to correct me, feel free to.
I'm pretty sure it's episode 60. We've actually been doing this for over a year, but...
I've gone back and forth. I said episode number 100, episode 80, 90. Who gives a shit, dude?
Can we make it sound like it's more like episode 315 for this one, so it sounds like you guys been around for a long time?
We'll say it's episode number 1000, and this is going to be our special guest for the 1000th episode.
Wow, round of applause.
Yeah, round of applause for him.
I'm honored.
Before we get into our special guest, Scar, give him a quick intro for who you are.
Oh, what's up, guys? I'm Scar. I'm the other host of this show. I'm a content creator. I'm a streamer, ex-professional player, but I'm not important. What is important is our special guest today. Why don't you introduce yourself?
No, you guys are all important. This is your show, okay? I'm just here to answer questions when given them. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Matt, also known as Nadeshot. I'm the founder and CEO of 100 Thieves, one of the new teams that has joined the LCS as a permanent partner with Riot Games. Just a little brief background on my history in esports. I was a competitive Call of Duty player for about 8 years. I was telling Scar before the stream, I feel like I've always been working in parallel with League of Legends, because back when Justin TV rebranded to Twitch TV, they came out with this separate entity. It was always League of Legends, then StarCraft, and Call of Duty when I was grinding my stream. And so I kind of came up with like the Odd One and Dyrus back in the day on stream. And so when I was able to finally jump into League of Legends with the LCS application process this past summer, I feel like I'm finally connected with the game. So, yeah, that's a brief background on who I am. I stream on Twitch every day as well, trying to now, but that's all you really need to know about me. It's not that important.
Well, let me ask you then, because you said when we got questions, you got answers. Let me start you off. Question number 1. What's the premier voice service that you use when you want to communicate to people all around the world?
My what? Hold up. Go back. Rephrase that?
The premier voice service program
Discord.
that you use. Discord. Ladies and gentlemen, Nadeshot approved Discord. Live question and answer at the end of the show. Go on our Discord, download the program. You got questions for Nadeshot, you got questions for Scott, questions for me. We got plenty of answers. Go and ask.
Hold on. I got to cut you off now because I've got questions. Because ever since I jumped into League of Legends, everything takes place on Skype. It's like you guys are in 2005.
Dude, it's because
why is everybody on Skype?
Everyone in League of Legends, including me, we're all fucking Neanderthals, dude. We're slow to adapt, slow to do anything. Who gives a shit, man? I mean, Scott, I'm sure you got a better reason why. That's my theory on it.
No, people are just lazy, dude. League of Legends especially, dude. Yeah. I don't know if it's true for other scenes, but League of Legends players just want to play League. Like, if it works, they'll use X thing until literally it's dead. I think
it's just esports in general because the Call of Duty community is the same way. I mean, it was like trying to teach somebody calculus on how to, like, all right, we're switching from Skype, now we're going to Mumble, but we're done with Mumble now, we're going to TeamSpeak, and now we're done with TeamSpeak, we're going to Discord. And just getting people to do that, it was like pulling teeth. They just wouldn't take the time. And they almost acted like they didn't know how to do it. It was just the fact that they were
Dude, they didn't act like they... It was the same way with me. I remember we started using Discord on Dignitas. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? I gotta put in a fucking... It's like I'm fucking hacking the computer or some shit, dude. Like, let me go on Discord. Let me fucking invite you and let me be done with this shit, man.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's like you gotta put in the server and then the address, and I feel like I'm in a movie with hacking scenes and I'm just typing away on my keyboard, and then 20 minutes later I'm still not in the server channel, and it's just a failure.
Yeah, that shit's too much work, dude. I'm all about the Discord, not about Skype.
Well, it's no wonder Discord has this insane valuation now. I mean, they're worth a lot of money, so they did a good job. I think they deserve all of that money that they'll see soon here.
Yeah, good shit, Discord. Way to go on that.
Yeah, good shit, Discord.
All right, let's go to let's start it off, though, with the first topic. First topic number 1. OpTic's probably one of the biggest organizations in gaming. What made you want to step away from OpTic and start 100 Thieves?
So I think there's a gap in that timeline for that question, because my time on OpTic was really helpful for me as, like, for my career and just for who I am as a person, honestly, because OpTic was never a business, with much like a lot of teams. I'm sure TSM was the same way as well, or a lot of these teams that came up within esports. It was just sort of like a group of friends that really enjoyed creating content around our favorite games. And that's sort of how my time started with OpTic. And then, we evolved with having a competitive team, and then we continued to create more and more content. Everything just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And so I don't ever think we looked at OpTic as a really big business opportunity. It just sort of went that direction as we got older, and esports blew up, and content creation around video games got even bigger. So my time on OpTic was really helpful for me, like I said, for my career and just as an individual. But then we kind of ran into situations where there was just a lot of opportunities that were left on the table because I was a part of a team. And so for me, who was already struggling with managing my time and my expectations within competitive Call of Duty, I wanted to move on to the bigger thing. Well, I don't want to say bigger things because I think that devalues what competitive Call of Duty was for me. But I had other interests as I got older, and creating content around other things besides Call of Duty. And then I had an opportunity to move to LA. And so when I finally got out here, where I currently live now, there was still a lot of disconnect between myself and OpTic. And so for the team's sake and my sake, at the time, it just seemed like the best idea that we go our separate ways and we all focus on what we want to focus on right now at the time. So there were a lot of personal things that happened between myself, OpTic, Hector, the owner of the organization. that, I'd rather keep behind closed doors between us. Hector and I are great friends to this day. I think we play him in the LCS next week. He's going to be coming out here. We talk, once or twice, 3 times a week. And so we're really great friends. But there were just a lot of things behind the scenes that I just don't want to bring light to, just because I respect my friendship with OpTic and Hector too much. But for that, I think it was just not the right time, not the right place, and I had to move on and do something different. And then later down the road, we jumped into 100 Thieves, and the rest is history from there. So,
let me ask you, what team environment what do you enjoy better, OpTic or 100 Thieves?
Well, I think it's a little different because OpTic, like I said, it was just it's like some of my closest friends. I mean, if I were to ever get married, a lot of the guys that I came up with and lived in the OpTic house while I lived there, I'll probably have stand at my wedding. I mean, it's that deep of a friendship. And I'm going to be friends with these guys for the rest of my life. So I think my time in OpTic and like the atmosphere and the environment, is completely different from 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves started as a brand and we had the brand first, and now we're hiring out all the pieces that we need for the organization. And I've become friends with every single person that we hired. I think when you're starting a company, building culture is super important so that everybody enjoys the work that they're doing and they can really feel involved and invested in the brand that they're working for. And so like our president and CEO, his name is John Robinson, really sharp guy, a little bit older than me, but we get along great. And we got this guy named Jackson Dahl is head of business development for 100 Thieves. Really awesome personality, really, really smart, challenges me to be more intelligent and really think about things more broadly and differently. And then I can go down the list, rapid fire. I mean, we're still relatively small as a company and as a team, but so far it's been incredible just because we have so many hardworking, intelligent, and talented people, working on 100 Thieves and bringing it where it is today and where we want it to be in the future every single day. And it's so motivating and inspiring to me because it's just everything that I do now, every decision to make, everything that I do every single day is 400 Thieves. Whether it's a live stream, whether it's me making a video, whether it's me doing something like this, everything is 400 Thieves, and we have such a great group of people, like I said, working towards that same goal. So I think it's very different environments. Going back to your original question, sorry, I get really excited about.
No, I like the way you talk about your teammates.
Yeah.
When I talk about my old team, Dignitas, I was like, these guys fucking suck. They're never coming anywhere near me again. These guys, Scarra's fucking stuck in Diamond right now where he belonged to. Fuck all these kids, dude.
Whoa. I like personal attacks.
Yeah, but no flame. I mean, I love him, dude, but I don't speak so kindly to them as you do.
Yeah, man, it's like I can appreciate what OpTic was for me and what I have now at the 100 Thieves, and they were both great for periods of times in my life. But now I'm definitely excited to just be on the gas pedal with such a great group of people, like trying to build 100 Thieves. So I can see where you're coming from though with Dignitas and Scar.
Dude, I like that shit. Scar, you got any questions for him?
Nah, dude, that was really enlightening. I got a lot of questions, but I built them into the questions that we're gonna ask, so I'm not worried.
Well, then let's go to topic number 2. So you come from an FPS background where vlogging content is huge. What are your thoughts on league content now and in the future? Well,
honestly, I haven't jumped into league content as much as I've wanted to, and the only reason why I say that is because it's been a slow grind for me to really understand League of Legends. And so all of my time has really been invested in the start of our roster. So we brought on Prowley from H2K from Europe, came back over to North America, and him and a couple other members of 100 Thieves, we went through the process of building our roster. And so when we finally brought on our team, Someday, Meteos, Ryu, Aphromoo, and Cody Sun, all of my energy and all of my focus has just been on those players, their careers, and everything that they're doing and what we're trying to do with content for 100 Thieves. I think I can bring a great background, like you mentioned, from Call of Duty and just all the other content opportunities that I've had in the last couple of years in my career. But what we've really focused on is just the Heist, which is our premier docuseries, and trying to figure out ways to create more content around our players. Unfortunately for us, we are still a relatively new company. We've been around for 2 months, and so manpower and time are definitely the resources that we need more of. So I just haven't had time to jump in to other League of Legends content. We've just been so focused on what we're going to be doing with 100 Thieves and how can we create better content for our players. to help build their own personal brands and to continue to build like the content story and strategy around 100 Thieves. So I wish I can give you more insight on my thoughts on League of Legends content, but I don't have the best grasp on it. I just know streamers really well. QD, you're always at the top. Whenever I click on the page, go ahead.
I'll say that League content, absolutely dog shit. Just fucking terrible, dude. I think, Scar, you can vouch for me on this. League content is fucking terrible, right?
Let's just say it's super saturated and very one-dimensional a lot of times. There are people pushing the boundaries, but...
What do you mean by pushing the bound? See, you always use that phrase, pushing the bound. No one, who's pushing the bound?
I think
Tyler 1 is pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, but that's like pushing the boundaries, and like I mean that's a good way to push the boundaries, the way he's pushing them. But I don't think that someone else could push those same boundaries.
I don't know. I just. Again, I haven't watched a ton of content. I mean, who are your guys' favorite content creators in League of Legends? Like, are there people that just do gameplay that you enjoy watching after you guys have spent so much time playing League?
Usually the content creators I enjoy are the ones that don't play League. Like, I like Donkey, for instance. His shit.
Donkey's the man, dude.
Yeah, that guy is great, right?
But he's not a League guy, right?
Exactly, because I already do so much League. I don't watch League content creators for the most part.
Yeah, of course. No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way with all the games that I play. But like when you guys think top tier, who's doing the best work in League of Legends? Like who should I go watch? I need some recommendations.
I mean, it probably.
I've just really enjoyed watching the teams. Like TSM Legends has always been fun to watch. I think Team Liquid does a great job with their squad series. I really like higher production. You know. I think higher production is going to help elevate esports as a whole so that brands that want to be involved and sell against, video game content, I think as the production continues to grow, it's going to be a more lucrative business for teams and players and streamers by association. But yeah, I don't watch a ton of just like League gameplay, just pure League gameplay from a content perspective.
Okay, here's my thoughts on like the overall stuff. So you come from, Call of Duty, and back when Call of Duty was big, Twitch TV was not. Twitch TV came up around League of Legends, right? So when Call of Duty was big, when you had to go make money, what platform did you choose?
I do disagree with that because
really? Okay.
Yeah, no, Call of Duty actually blew up in some ways because of Twitch. Well, not from a competitive standpoint. I'm sorry, because YouTube content was like the core platform for the growth that Call of Duty saw. I mean, you saw it in Modern Warfare 2. And then as it grew in Black Ops 1, and then you had, I think it was Modern Warfare 3 and then Black Ops 2. I might have missed something in there. But Twitch was like a great place for Call of Duty. That's kind of where my career took off in full honesty. As I continue to gain viewers and grow on Twitch, I mean, at one point, and I don't mean this in like a conceited or braggy way, I just want you to know for context, at one point, I was the 4th most followed channel on Twitch. I think that can give you context for how big Call of Duty actually was at the time on Twitch as a platform.
Wow, that's fucking. I don't even fucking remember.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember like how Twitch was at the start. Like I don't remember what kind of. I remember that you used to. Yeah, you streamed a fucking lot on Twitch, and then you went to like the MLG thing.
Yeah, I did.
Whatever I think it was. So I
think that's probably what throws me off is that MLG became such a big thing. And like a lot of people ended up migrating over that. Like I didn't follow that. Well,
I definitely, I think, hindsight's 2020. But I talk to my stream about this all the time. It's, if I had the choice, I never would have left Twitch. Obviously, I was still able to find success in some way or another. But I think holistically for Call of Duty, the viewership was hurt from my decision to move to MLG because I think it forced a lot of players' hands that they had to come over to MLG as well. So at the time, it seemed like the right decision for me, personally and for my career. But I didn't realize how badly it was actually going to hurt the competitive Call of Duty streamer platform and network. So yeah, it was a tough time. I mean, I think there's still potential for it to continue to grow, but yeah, it sucks. It sucks that you guys don't know the history of Call of Duty and Twitch, and I think this as an example of me leaving Twitch is a pretty good reason why you don't. So I don't know. It sucks.
Yeah, I mean, back to talking about the league content or whatever. I agree that I think that high production is pretty nice to watch that kind of stuff, but I don't think there's anyone on league that does that kind of thing that's not a team. Like, Sky, you could let me know if there's someone maybe that is doing like some high production
wise. Not so much. Usually the people who are mainly we have a majority of highlight editing as like a large portion of content from League of Legends.
Yeah.
And then separate content outside of that is relatively rare.
Yeah, there's
it's
nothing
like
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it's like, how high quality production can you have if you're creating content around the game itself? I mean, there's only so much you can do. I guess I've just really enjoyed the stories that you can tell behind teams. I think competition is the best avenue for storytelling because, you have like the triumphs of these players going up against these other players on stage, and it's just, there's so much more that you can do, where if you're just playing the game, it's clear cut and dry. Like, oh, this was an amazing play, let me upload it to my stream highlights. Or this was a new, I don't know, strategy. I just think it's harder for production value to grow with just gameplay itself.
Yeah, I mean, I just was thinking, like, even, like, some type of thing like animation or some bullshit like that on YouTube, like, I think getting more immersed in League of Legends would be a good thing. No one fucking does. It's all just shitty gameplay. Like, even I'm part of the problem. I know I'm part of the problem. It's just shitty gameplay highlights for my stream that my editor like puts out there. It's like 10-minute video. All right, here you go. Put that shit out.
Yeah, but you don't have time for anything else. That's okay.
Yeah,
you have a massive stream that people love to watch, right? And people are watching. Then, I mean, it's not like you need to change. I mean, there's something to say about continuously getting better and doing bigger and better projects, but people love what you do. I mean, you can see it with your viewership.
I mean, I just feel like people would like more in the world of League of Legends than just gameplay. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like fantasizing or some shit. Like, who would be like Dr. Disrespect would be a good example. Like, do people watch him because he plays fucking PUBG? Who gives a fuck about PUBG, dude? That game fucking blows dick. Like, maybe we don't all agree it blows dick, because do you agree it blows dick, Nadeshot?
I think there are other battle royale games that I enjoy way more than PUBG. I think PUBG is way too slow. It's way too clunky. There's a lot of things wrong with it, but there are some aspects of it that are. I'm not going to say that PUBG blows dick, but I think the game itself has a lot of work that needs to be done if it wants to continue to be a top played game.
Yeah, like, I want to see league content like that. I want to see someone like going above and beyond the Call of Duty. Like, I don't do that shit because I'm lazy as fuck. But like,
well, I see. I don't think Dr. Disrespect can be used as an example. I think
Dr. An outlier.
No, but listen. Dr. Disrespect is an anomaly on Twitch because he can literally say and do anything, and people are going to find it funny and entertaining because he plays a character. But if, like, there's nobody else that can do that. Like, he has a persona. Like, this was an example I used. I think Summit and some other streamers, and even myself, find it a little difficult to stream with Dr. Disrespect because he can sit there and dig at you and talk a whole bunch of trash, and it's hilarious. People love it. And there is truth behind that trash talk, but there's nothing that you can say to, like, go back at Dr. Disrespect. Like, you just have to be your, little Nadeshot or little Summit, like, you as a person. Dr. Disrespect can defy all laws and rules when it comes to, like, interaction with other streamers in the games that they play because he's playing a character. It's always satire. Nobody takes it serious. So I don't think Dr. Disrespect is the best example.
Look, I think the number one problem is actually that League of Legends personalities are terrible in front of camera at the moment. And that's because I think the scene is still never pushed or had a need for people to be good in front of camera, ever. Unless you're working at Riot Games, for the most part, many of the personalities, all these other people cannot make better production stuff because they themselves are not strong enough personalities to carry the content. So there are exceptions. I think Cutie and Tyler Wood are great exceptions of people with, like, outstanding personalities, but I also think huge fucking outliers. For the most part, The top League of Legends people are pros or like good players first, and then personalities like second or third. And when you think of it that way, like a good personality should be you walk into a situation and you make people want to watch because you're good. You're good at being able to make stuff fun regardless of what the situation is. How many people can do that normally in League of Legends? Any of the people you can think of. Handful, less than 5. And I think it's different in other scenes, right? Mainly, like, I think a lot of the other stuff, like, even like, they go more toward vlog style content, which is hardcore carried by the individual personality.
Yeah, I actually do agree with you. The one thing that I've learned about League of Legends players is that they are very reserved and they keep to themselves. I mean, that's been like a running theme with our team. I love each and every individual on our roster in their own way. They all have their own unique personalities, but it's very hard to bring those personalities out because they're all very quiet. I told them, I think this interaction I've had with the 100 Thieves League of Legends team has been, it's the quietest team that I've ever been around. It's the quietest group of individuals that I've been around. And it almost like was a problem for a while just because we couldn't get feedback from the guys on how that they thought, the organization was running and how they thought the team was playing. Everybody, they just, their lips are sealed. And I'm not sure if that's the case with other League of Legends players and other teams, but it's like when I think of big personalities, I think of Cutie Pie, I think of Tyler One, I think of Double Lift.
Yep.
And those are the only names that I've seen that are incredibly vocal, and I think that's good for League of Legends. We need more. You guys, well, I'm going to say we now because I'm a part of it, but we need more of that, in my opinion.
Yeah,
keep going.
I agree with that shit. We definitely need, like, that's the one thing I fucking hate. I can't watch interviews because it's like, how'd you guys do? Oh, we did our best, and they tried their best. It was a close game. We managed to win. I want to hear, like, these guys fucking blew.
Yes,
we beat the shit out of them. This shit wasn't close. Like, if fucking tried, dude. Like, I want. What?
Yes, dude. You're speaking my language because for me, when I came into practice, right? The practice sessions that our teams have. If they win a map, they lose a map, there's really no emotion. But back in the day, and it's like, I don't like to continue to talk about myself and the examples that I've had, but back in the day in Call of Duty, even if you were practicing, okay, even if you were scrimming, if somebody beat you, like if another team beat you, you automatically are doing everything and anything you can the next map to prove to them that there is no way in shape or form that you are better than me. Like every game, whether it was a practice or a major event, was like you took it personal. And I definitely think that there's something to say about League of Legends players being so respectful and professional. I think that's great for a lot of different reasons, but I definitely wish there was more emotion and the players were more invested in the results. Because I agree that it's great that they're on stage, like, they did well. The other team fought as hard as they could. We came out on top. I would love to see some more emotion just from me. I think emotion is good for entertainment.
I think the craziest thing, the scariest thing when I look at a lot of these teams, I look at the faces of these teams. And a lot of the times the faces of the teams are like the CEOs, right? Like you, Nadeshot, like back when Immortals was a team, Noah. The fact that the CEOs of these organizations are more popular than the players, which are technically supposed to be the talent, sometimes is just like crazy to me. How is Noah Winston the face of Immortals when he has 20 plus players in his organization? Well, it's because he's the most well-spoken and like he's the only one willing to go on camera for things. And it's like, well, if no player is willing to go up and speak their thoughts about stuff, and which like recently there's some players like Acadian who's been doing vlogs again that like, I like seeing. I want to see behind the scenes. I want to see what they think about, what they actually care about. Like, I don't feel personally invested with a lot of the players because they are not willing to put themselves out there because everyone's focusing on being the best player they can be. However, there's a large disconnect between being the best player and like being a personality. And I think that sometimes I would like to see more of the personality come through because I think a lot of these players have great personalities that they just suck at showing it.
I think it's also tough for the players though, because I will say in League of Legends, the schedules are a lot more rigorous. I mean, the amount of time that they spend practicing and then in solo queue after practice and then the matches on the weekends, their schedules are incredibly full. So I think players need to lean on organizations to do a better job of helping them create content in some way or another. 100 Thieves, like one thing we do want to focus on is helping the players build their own personal brands. Because even if they're with us for a year or 2 years, or they spend the rest of their career with our organization, we want to help them set them up for success for the future so that they can be a cutie pie that can make a living from playing video games long after they're done competing. And I guess that's where a lot of my motivation came from with creating content. And I think it's just helping these younger players understand the broader picture and knowing you're not going to be able to compete forever. And if you want to continue to do this, you need to put more work in outside of just playing the game and trying to be the best. But it's difficult because the competition is so high. I mean, North America in League of Legends isn't considered to be the best region, and they're aspiring to be as good as the other regions in some ways or another. So I think it's a hard balance. They're very busy. Some of them just don't see the bigger picture, but that's because they're still relatively young. But I think there's more that the organizations can do to help the players build their own personal brands. But there's also more things that the players need to do themselves if they really care about building a personality and a brand that they can monetize long after they're done playing.
Well, let me ask you then, because I say this every time I talk about this topic. I feel like it's more on like the season's too goddamn long. Like there's too much. Like it's too hard for people to make content that's meaningful with how much they have to bust their ass every day. Like you said, like by the time the season's done, it's like, fuck, I just want to break from League of Legends, dude. I don't want to try to just pump out content now to try to do something like that. Do you feel like maybe the season's too long right now and that makes it kind of difficult?
I don't think so. Or in my opinion, I actually think this, so what? I mean, the spring split is from January, February, and then March, right? And then I would imagine the summer split is 3 months as well. So I guess 6 months out of the year is pretty rigorous. But I mean, what are the other 6 months then? I mean, isn't that like off-season downtime?
I think it's 1 month for playoffs, 1 month for playoffs, 1 month for Worlds.
Okay, so that's 9 months then, right?
Yeah, I think it's up to like 10 months of play. Maybe 10 and a half months, actually, if you're thinking about it.
I mean, Cutie, you were a player, so your perspective on this is a lot better than mine. I mean, I'm still incredibly new to League of Legends and the format and what the players have to go through. I think the sentiment that we've been trying to convey to our players is that, I mean, the salaries are rising so much, exponentially. I mean, the players are really starting to make some good living from the game that they love to play. And so I think the biggest thing that we have tried to relay to them is like, listen, guys, you're here to practice. You're here to get better. You're here to invest all your time into improving as a team. And so we just need energy. We need you guys to come in on practice, eat breakfast, be ready to play, and you're treated like a professional. You got to go to work. And I think what I was saying to them is that, you know, you're only doing this for a couple months out of the year, but actually when you frame it up that way, it's like they could be competing hypothetically for 9 months out of the year. So, Cutie Pie, I mean, I would lean on you for your perspective on this. I'm not the expert when it comes to.
I mean, I don't know what the schedules are, how they used to be, because I mean, Sky, the way that it used to be for us, it was basically like the way that I was doing it. I don't expect anyone to ever do that shit. I'd wake up at 7. I'd stream until 11. I'd go to the gym from 11 to 12. I'd scrim from 12 to like 9, and then I'd do VOD review, and then I'd maybe stream again, and then I'd go to sleep, and that was every day. That's intense, man. That's fucking awful. Like, I don't know if the schedules are a lot more, like, how often are players, like, scrimming now? Like, Scar or Nadeshot?
Well, our team, they have to be up by 10 a.m. They're in the scrim room by 10:30. I think scrims start at 11. They'll play 3 games. They'll do analysis after every single game. Then they'll have lunch, and then they'll do another block of scrims, 3 games with analysis, and then the rest is their time. We don't require them to go to the gym right now. We don't require them to do anything else besides practice. And then we'll ask them for interviews on certain days for the heist and other things that we're trying to do for sponsors. But that's our schedule right now. So I think that averages anywhere out from like 7 to 8 hours. But that itself, I don't think is too insane. I think like an 8-hour workday.
That's a lot more lenient than expected. Like I know a lot of the players are playing solo queue, grinding up solo queue, but I expected a longer period of time for sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, our players put a lot of time in themselves for solo queue too. But the biggest thing for us is this is our first year as an organization, and we're player owned. So I just really want to make sure that the players' well-being is really accounted for in our actions. We don't want to overwork them. We don't want to put them in situations where they burn out and shut down, because I've burned out myself. And I don't want any player playing underneath 100 Thieves to ever feel as if it's too much. But we definitely are encouraging them and motivating them to work as hard as they possibly can whenever they're in session and they're practicing. We have much like a lot of organizations, we have a head coach, an assistant coach, performance coach, a team manager to help manage their schedules and everything else. But we support them as best as we can. But when they are practicing, we expect them to work as hard as they can. So I don't know. I mean, again, this is our first year. We're trying to figure it all out. But if you guys are saying that our schedule seems a little lenient, I'm thinking, what are we doing? What are we doing wrong here?
No, I think it's less hellish than some of the stuff that happened before.
Yeah, because I mean, I want to see more content coming out of teams. I want to see like players streaming. I want to see all that shit more often. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know how it is. I mean, as a player, like I know having to, if they were to be more, I guess, vocal about you guys fucking suck, they're just gonna get fucking hammered by the fucking community. That shit will just weigh on you. If you're having bad games, it'll start to really weigh on you. All that kind of shit, like, it takes a really, like, I'm not expecting every player to be a personality, but like you said, like, when Doublelift's the only one that's, like, willing to stick his neck out and be like, you know what, these guys fucking blow. Like, maybe it blows up in his face, like.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, the thing that I keep coming back to, I think I had this conversation at one of our LCS matches last week with somebody from Riot. I came in while we found out we were accepted into the LCS, and we were going through recruitment, and we had Prolly out in LA, and he introduced me to Breaking Point. And I watched Breaking Point, and I'm sure everybody that participates in League of Legends subreddit, not everybody, but the majority of people have probably seen Breaking Point or know about Breaking Point. And so when you go down that road and you look at it holistically, it's like, no, I don't think it was handled the best way. I think it definitely threw a lot of the players under the bus. It made Team Liquid look a certain way. But at the end of the day, everybody's still talking about Breaking Point. Everybody knows Breaking Point. So it's like, I think there needs to be more storytelling and far more emotion involved in esports than there currently is right now, because that's really what people connect with. It's definitely not fun when a player screws up and, the community shits on him or the team shits on them in the content that they're creating. But I definitely think there are a lot of benefits if there is more emotion. That's what I love. That's what gets me excited.
Yeah, that's what gets me excited too.
I'm not asking like League of Legends turn into the WWE. I'm not trying to force like people, from the top turnbuckle with chairs and tables and ladders in the middle of the ring. But I definitely would love to see just a little bit more like, he beat me, but I know he's not better than me, and I'm going to come back and show him why next week. That's what I want to see. But I think the professionalism is something that should be respected as well. I don't know. I think it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just one more thing, like, yeah, the storytelling. I remember when me and Sky used to play, like, Riot Games was all about the storytelling, but you can't force like these shitty ass. It'd be like, this guy had 10 more CS than this guy, so he's probably better. So here's the story we're gonna craft. It's gonna be about how he just smashed. It's like, dude, he had a 10 CS lead. They probably don't even fucking realize. Like, no one gives a shit. Like, these stories. I want stories coming from the play. I want the players to like develop their own stories with each other. I don't want Riot coming up with this shit.
Well, I feel like I'm in a rock and a hard place, and we've talked about it internally at 100 Thieves, where there are a lot of real conversations that happen behind the scenes. For example, 2 weeks ago, our team had a really bad week of practice, and there was sort of like, we got to this point where all the players were putting everything on the line in a really long, like 3-hour meeting. Like, this is what I think we're doing well. This is what I think we're doing wrong. Like, this is what this individual player really sucks at, and I can't stand it. And it was just a lot of conversations that were really healthy, but would consider to be very dramatic if we were to put a light on it and put it on camera and put it in our docuseries. Like, the one thing that I love about the heist and what I want to avoid is I don't want the storytelling that we do to just be a weekly recap of what's happened in the LCS. I mean, people have seen the matches. They know what's went down. And I think it's important that we tell a story around that. But I wish that we could show what's actually happening, you know, in a way where it's not too hurtful for the organization, the scene, or the players, but a way where we can give a little more insight to what's actually going on when teams are losing or winning.
That's what I want to see. I want to see players. I want to see them like, dude, like, come the fuck on. How the hell are you going to miss that shit? I want to see someone. I don't want to see like, dude, don't worry about it. You missed it, man. We'll get them next time. Like, that shit.
Wait, the funniest thing is you guys know if you know Breaking Point, you saw Breaking Point. I saw Breaking Point too. That wasn't even that bad. Like, from my perspective, I was like, people are getting upset about this. Dude, behind the scenes, it's so much worse than this. Like, this is like baby level stuff, dude. I had seen and heard about what had happened to like early CLG days, right? And like, it was like, I looked at the video, it was like, people are getting like heated about this. Dude, it's worse than this. And I really do hope in the future, Nadeshot, you can show us a little bit of what happens in that meeting, because like, I would love, and I think any fan of the scene would love to be like a fly on the wall in the meeting where you're talking 3 hours and you're just like, this guy fucking sucks at positioning. I can't believe he does this every game. Fix this shit, you know?
It's so tough, dude, because when that happens, I feel like there's repercussions for that too, from like an organizational standpoint.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because the players, like, you know, it's like, what if, hypothetically, it's like, I'm going to use a different team's players, for example, like Double Lift and Ole. They get in this big argument and Team Liquid decides to film it and throw it in squads. And then players start picking or the community starts picking sides, like, hey, no, fuck you, Double Lift. You're picking on Ole, and Ole's getting sad. It's just like there's a lot of repercussions to showing.
Dude, but that's the thing that I'm talking about. That's where the story comes from. Like, Double Lift leaves the fucking team, and then it's like, damn.
But now that so much money is being invested into these teams and the players so that they can hopefully win, it's like you don't want to sacrifice that by adding turmoil and drama to the team. So I think
me and Keely are thinking about the content, you know, and you as a team owner have to think about, like, you know, the people involved. But like, yeah, from a content perspective, holy shit, if we could see people like go down on each other, like, and just like yell at each other all the time, that'd be great for me. I'd be like taking out the popcorn, but
I just want the players to want to kick the other team's ass, not in an egregious way, not in a way that's disrespectful, but I want the players, like, I lost to FlyQuest this week, and I'm out for blood in 2 weeks when we play them again for the second time this split. Like, that's what I think would get me excited. But the players are just so respectful and professional. I think there's really good aspects of that. But yeah, for content, it's not the most entertaining that it could possibly be.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but we spent a lot of time talking about this one.
We're
we're just passionate about it.
Yeah, we're gonna start going through it. So, next topic: when looking to hire staff for a League of Legends team, what position do you prioritize?
Well, for us specifically, the one thing that we prioritized was a head coach that was comfortable with us giving them essentially the keys to the kingdom to try to build out their own roster. Just because when we found out that we were accepted into the LCS, we did not have a ton of time to really get our ducks in a row from an organizational level. And so we needed to rely on somebody heavily that has deep knowledge in League of Legends, because I most certainly did not. When the article was leaked from Jacob Wolf and ESPN back in like October, we still had a couple weeks until the formal announcement was made by Riot. And they made it sound as if like this former professional Call of Duty player was now going to be the GM for the Cleveland Cavaliers League of Legends team. And I'm over here like, fuck. Like, people are thinking that 100 Thieves is about to be ran and Ross, I'm going to put together the roster and all these different things, but that was not the case. We really went through a lot of different resources to find help. We talked to a lot of analysts from League of Legends on stage that, I think, we talked to Mark Z quite a bit. He helped us and put us in contact with the right people. We went through a lot of different conversations with a lot of different people, but ultimately, I think the most important role for us was a head coach. I think it's abundantly important that the players respect the coach, and I think it was like a perfect combination where it's like Prowley went to Worlds 2 out of 3 years with H2K. He was a former player, and so we put a lot of faith in him to help us build the roster that we have today. So in terms of staffing, I think the head coach was probably the most important for us.
All right, Scott, I mean, what if you had to build a League of Legends team, who would you hire? I'd go with the head coach, too.
It's probably the exact same thing, though. I think people are really, even though sometimes the coach is hampered by the abilities of the players, it is the coach's job to create the vision for the team. And you need someone at the helm doing that. And so, while I think getting star players is super important, getting a coach that understands, where he's at and, what he wants to do is so, so important.
Yeah, I agree with that. Having 5-star players doesn't make a world championship team. A world championship team's a team that they can envision what they need to do, and they go out and do it. 5-star players, they're all fucking I need the fun. It's me. It's time for me. That's just never going to work. So I agree. Head coach, probably most important thing. Let's go to the
probably the most important, huh?
Yeah, you like that, dude? I've been sneaking those in. The Call of Duty, the probably some other ones I can't remember.
You're ahead of the game, man. I love it.
Yeah, I'm big brain, man. All right, next topic. You just hit 3 million subs on YouTube. You've been making content for years. What's driven you to be so long lasting?
Drive and motivation has definitely been tough for me, just in the last couple of years. Just because as I grew up, my interests continuously changed. And so the things that I was passionate about and the things that I want to create content around were not necessarily what people originally subscribed to my channel for. It's I created a lot of my fan base through Call of Duty, and then I found myself in a position where it's this is not the only thing that I want to make videos about. I want to talk about hip hop and streetwear and sneaker culture and anime and all these other things that I love and enjoy talking about and creating content about. But I was almost afraid that people wouldn't like it. But I continue to do it anyways. And it's almost as if I sort of made my subscriber base adapt to what I was doing. And I looked at it as, look, it's my demographic, 95% of my audience is male. So there's a good chance if I'm interested in something, other people are going to be interested in it too. So I started vlogging. I started going out. I started, making videos about anything that I thought was relatively interesting, whether it was me taste testing a Burger King milkshake or if it was me going to the trampoline park. I decided that I wanted to create content around that rather than just be stuck in this or be pigeonholed by Call of Duty content. But I definitely think drive and motivation has been a problem for me just because I've almost become too obsessed with the production and the quality of my videos, whether it's does it have enough B-roll? Is the music good enough? Did I get the right shot? Is it high quality in terms of am I filming with a 4K camera? So it's my life was so much easier when I didn't care about how my videos looked because I would have this little pocket camera that would just, I'd slip away and bring it back out whenever I wanted to vlog. And now it's I'm going nuts in my own mind thinking oh, it's never good enough. So it's almost I'm self-destructive in my own ways of thinking I want to do so much bigger and better videos and content. And I almost hinder myself because I think everything that I do just isn't good enough. And so I won't end up uploading it. And then I'll go weeks without uploading and then months. So drive and motivation has always been tough for me, but luckily, when I finally find the right path and I create the right video and I'm really proud of it and I upload it, my subscribers are there to have my back and watch and continue to watch my videos. My channel continues to grow. So, I'm fortunate enough with the community that I've built around me that people kind of support me through thick and thin, but it definitely hasn't been an easy road to 3 million. It's funny because I think my first million was the easiest and everything after that was just harder. So, I think content's tough, but for me, I'm just continuing to try and do as best as I can as I go on.
Yeah, I think for Drive, talking just about that, I know a lot of people, I love playing League of Legends. There's nothing else I want to do, but people will tell me, like, dude, Cutie, how the fuck do you keep playing? I fucking hate playing this game, but I'm like locked in. It's like, if you want to last as a content creator, I just hate that term, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out there. I hate fucking being referred to as a content creator.
I know what you mean.
It does sound way too formal.
Yeah, I hate that shit, but like,
I don't like that either.
yeah, if you want to be like a content creator, you can't like force yourself to do something you hate, because eventually it'll just fucking grind you out. Like, you can't just, like, I know there's some people, they'll just keep playing League of Legends. They're like, I fucking hate this thing, but it's what the people want. Like, they just stop playing League. Like, the people, they're going to be there for you either way. Like, even if you go and switch from like League of Legends to fucking some random shit, dude, like, just go and do that. Enjoy yourself, because people just want to see you fucking they don't want to see you like, fucking gotta play League of Legends again. Fuck this stupid ass game, dude. That shit's rough. I mean,
that was actually a huge problem for a lot of it. This was like a really big phenomenon, but that was what you're describing right now was a really big problem for some Minecraft creators. There were a lot of people that made a ton of money, gained a huge following from Minecraft, but a lot of their viewership was actually driven through like search engine optimization or SEO. And they were in these situations where they would create videos that weren't Minecraft, and people wouldn't watch them. And so they weren't making the same amount of money. They weren't getting followers and subscribers. So some people actually had like breakdowns. Like, I cannot make Minecraft anymore. I'm either just going to quit YouTube, or you guys are going to watch me do something else. But yeah, it's like a huge problem. I think the number one thing is you're lucky enough, Cutie. It's like, I think your personality transcends anything that you would do. Like, if you wanted to go and play boring ass PUBG, like you said, for 10 hours a day, I'm sure there would be tens of thousands of people that would still come watch you every day on stream. But unfortunately, some players and creators just don't have that luxury. So it's tough, man. You got to find the right middle ground.
But I don't know. I feel like you can't grow yourself if you're doing something you fucking hate. Maybe I'm wrong, dude. I don't know enough content creators. Maybe there's plenty of people that fucking hate. They just absolutely can't stand what they fucking do, but they're still killing it. But I just feel like you have to genuinely like what you do to make people like
Agreed.
watching you. Like, if you don't like what you do, people aren't gonna fucking like watch it. If it's just like, dude, whatever, man, I'm just gonna do some shit. Who gives a fuck, man? It's just like, yeah, you're right. Who gives a fuck, dude? Like, I mean,
definitely gotta have fun doing what you're doing, or it's not gonna last well. You're gonna burn out really quickly.
I definitely think like being a good personality is a very important part of being able to, like, you know, switch stuff. But like, there's good examples of a lot of League streamers that, like I said before, right, lack the personality to be good camera presences, and so when they switch to other games, right, their viewership drops 80-90%. You know, and I've been on the receiving end of this as well. I switch games, and my audience is definitely a little bit better, especially since I started to do more IRL content. But like, I'll still lose like, you know, 40% of my viewership, which is a large amount, and I'm considered on the tail end of the better side. So like, imagine people who lose 80% of their viewership, 90% of their viewership. Like,
hey man, it's tough.
When that happens to people, and then they just go from making like, they make like 3 times less money, or like, I can understand why it gets stressful. It definitely gets stressful. Like, I like look at some of the stuff that people do. It's like, yeah, they may not like doing it, but they may feel like they need to do it. And I think that some people are in a more fortunate situation and they can be more flexible with what they do. But the number one thing that I have to say about this is, like, if you want to be good at doing other stuff, make people invested in yourself. Like, be good enough to where, like, you can play other games and have people watch because you are a talented person or you're like a great personality. And I think that that's the thing to focus on rather than focusing on, like, you know, doing something you hate.
I agree, man. It's a tough thing. I don't think the life of a professional streamer or YouTuber is like, a lot of people see it as something that's so easy, and for some people, they were just creating videos around something that they really loved. But now that so many people are doing it, you know, I'm sure Cutie Pie and Scar, you guys get this all the time, but I would get donations and people ask me, well, like, I've been streaming 10 hours a day for the last 2 months, but nobody's watching. I haven't gotten one viewer. It's like, what should I do? And it's like, I respond to them, listen, man, I don't have the recipe. Like, there is not a formula that's going to make you make a ton of money and have a bunch of viewers just because you're going live every single day. You know, it's like you got to hit the right wave at the right time, or you got to be really good at a game, or incredibly unique and or super entertaining. So I mean, dude, there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are creating videos every day and streaming on Twitch. You really got to love what you're doing, because the viewership and the money is not always going to be there. And hopefully one day, everybody who wants and aspires to do this for a living will have that opportunity. But unfortunately, it's just, there's so many people. Like, you have to be so incredibly different or so good at a game. It's tough, man. It's not an easy thing.
Yeah, being a content creator, definitely, like, I wish anyone that, like, really loved the game could, like, go and make a living off of it. But yeah, it's just fucking hard sometimes, because yeah, you'll get that donation of the guy that's like, I've been streaming for a month, I haven't got a single viewer, what's wrong?
Yeah,
it's
man.
just like, it's like, what kind, like,
it's tough, dude.
yeah, it's like, damn,
That's
dude,
the worst when you read that.
yeah, it fucking feels real fucking bad. So
Feels bad, man.
yeah. Whatever. We'll go to the next topic. No more feels bad. So, how much influence do you personally have over the League of Legends daily operation, as well as choosing the current roster?
When you say operations, what are you guys referring to? Because I'm
referring to, like, you know, like the day by day, right? You know, how much are you doing with the team exactly? Like, do you sitting on games all the time? Are you, like, giving them advice? Are you giving them, you know, life advice? Be like, okay, to do this, you got this. Are you telling them, like prep, you know, pumping them up for LCS days? Like, I'm just curious what happens in the life of Nadeshot when compared to the LCS.
For sure, man. So I think we're incredibly lucky to have the facilities that we have. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys saw, but the Rocket Mortgage Team House. Seriously, you know, it was a sponsored video, and Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans is our biggest, they're our premier sponsor. But let me just say this. It's definitely like the coolest brand that I've ever worked with in esports. They had an all-company meeting in Detroit where they bring every employee from Quicken Loans into the Little Caesars arena where the Detroit Pistons play and the Detroit Red Wings. And for 10 minutes, the CEO of Quicken Loans and the CMO, his name is Casey, they talked about League of Legends, esports, and 100 Thieves in front of all 18,000 employees. I mean, it was unbelievable. And so the support that they show us in the house that they were able to set us up with has been incredible. And the thing, you know, I'm tying this all back to your original question. Our entire office, I mean, from a business perspective, on the operational side, we have me, John, Jackson, Logan, Gabe. We have probably about 6 employees. That's going to grow to 8 or 9 here fairly soon. So we're growing, but we're working out of the Rocket Mortgage Team House where the players compete. So it's 2 separate houses, and we, you know, do all of our meetings and our phone calls and our daily work in one house, and the players scrim and practice in the other. And so we're very involved, actually. We'll go and jump over and watch them their scrims, sit in on analysis and talk to the players every so often. Like, we don't want to impede or intrude too much on what the players and the staff and the coaching staff are doing. Like I said, we have a head coach, assistant coach, and a performance coach. We sort of let them do what they need to do to get the job done. Like, we don't want to encroach too much on that process. But I think it's been a blessing to be in the same place like the Rocket Mortgage Team House, because we are shoulder to shoulder with these guys. And for me, it was a really big deal that these players feel comfortable, because we're a non-endemic, well, I think we're an endemic team, but like a brand that wasn't a part of the LCS prior to this. We jumped in, we partnered up with Riot, and now we're trying to convince these players, like, hey, we're here, we're going to support you. But I'm sure for like somebody like Afromu, who was on CLG for 5 years, he's going to be a little nervous about signing with a new organization. And so the fact that we've gotten to spend so much time with them, they've gotten to know us and the people behind the organization, has been really helpful. So I would like to say that I'm very invested in the operations every single day. You know, I'm talking to the players like, bro, I'm not even kidding. I can't make this story up. I walked into the house yesterday and they were scrimming Echo Fox. And the first map was really close. And second map, I'm not going to talk about it because probably he's going to get mad at me. But, you know, 100 Thieves playing really well. But Cody's son's like this 19-year-old kid, right? And I'm like, hey, how's everybody doing? Cody turns around and he looks at me. He's like, I'm sick. And I'm like, Cody, all right, so what are we going to do about it? Like, have you taken anything? Like, what's the problem? What are your symptoms? You got a fever? You got a cold? What's going on? He's like, I got a fever in my throat. So I'm like, all right, well, come on, we're going to take some Tylenol. He's like, no, I don't want to take any. I'm like, dude, you have to practice for 8 hours a day against like the best team in the league. So we got to make you feeling better. And he kept saying like, no, I'm okay. I'll just push through it. I'm like, dude, I've been here before. My mom used to have to do the same thing. Like, I was just too lazy to go and take the medication. So I literally dragged Cody into the kitchen and made him take some Dayquil so that he would get his practice done and he would feel better. And hopefully that helped him. But like, we are so close to these guys and we really care about them. And I'm not saying that to like save face, but like, we are so deep in like the operations because we work shoulder to shoulder every single day. So it's like a really cool relationship that we have with the players.
That's pretty refreshing to hear Daddy Nadeshot taking care of the 100 Thieves, man.
Well, dude, I mean, look, I was in the same place. Like, the kid's 19 years old. He's from Canada. He's living in the other side of the continent, and I know what he's going through. I was the same way. He just wants to play League of Legends and get through the day. I'm like, dude, if you take this medicine, you're going to feel better. He was just being lazy. So I opened it up for him. I brought him into the kitchen, made him take it because it was gonna make him feel better. I just, these guys are so young. Like, I see myself in them, and I just want to help them. Like, I just want to be there, you know? Like, I just want to be friends. It's like my biggest thing. I just want to be friends with the guys.
Dude, I mean, it's refreshing to hear because, I mean, yeah, when we were on Dignitas, we didn't have, like, that much communication with people from Dig. They'd, like, maybe send someone over, like...
Yeah, they're in the UK, so, like, that would make sense, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, it's just nice to hear that, like, things are a lot more... People are, hey, you need some help? Dude, here, let me help you out. Before, it was just us fending for ourselves in this fucking house. It's refreshing to hear. That makes me happy. Scary.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, we just want to take care of them, man. It's like we're a new organization. We really want to like raise the bar and set a precedent for what it means to be a professional organization, like a team. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it's good to hear players being taken care of because, like I've said before, I just want, in the ideal world, I want the LCS to turn into the fucking like NFL or some shit. I want it to be like fucking soccer. I want there to be like a World Cup of LCS, like the World Championships, but it's just like the biggest fucking thing ever. Like LCS players, the biggest stars ever. Something like that. Realistically, that's never fucking happening, but I can imagine it, and I like hearing these like nice stories about how well these players are taken care of. So.
Well, I think esports is going to be there. It just needs time to continue to grow. The money is now being invested into the players and the organizations and the leagues. You have more advertisers that are feeling more confident in spending money in sponsorship dollars. And so I think, I'm betting my career on esports, and I think it's going to continue to grow. And so I think it'll be there, man. I really do. It's like, I mean, the LCS World Championship is already massive. And I think, as time goes on, I think everything is just continue to evolve and get bigger and better.
Yeah, if that happened, like, I put my life into video games, so if a young Cutie Pie comes up, dude, and he puts his life into it, I want him to be taken care of. I want him to be like, you know what? I didn't waste my fucking life playing these stupid-ass games, dude. My mom was wrong, dude. Wasting my time playing these games. I'm gonna fucking make a living off that. If that happens in the future, dude, I'm gonna be a happy boy. I'm gonna be a real happy man. Sky,
hell yeah, I love it, man.
Sky, you got anything else on this topic?
Nah, dude, you said everything I wanted to say.
Alright, then let's go to... So, let's say let's say Scar and I'm a Cutie Pie wanted to start an esports team. What advice would you give us as a brand new owner?
The advice that I would give to anybody who wants to be involved with esports is that there are a lot more responsibilities than you would think that meets the eye. Like, there are so many more things that you need to think about than, like, hey, I have these 5 players, and they're going to play for my team, and everything's going to be fine and dandy. That was a mistake that I made about a year and a half ago. 100 Thieves was originally an apparel company, like a lifestyle brand, but then everybody was asking me to be involved in esports again. And so there was this opportunity to pick up a Call of Duty team, and I just like myself thought like, oh, I have 100 Thieves and I can get this team and it's all going to work itself out. Let me tell you, that was not the right line of thinking, and it helped me learn so much about what it actually means to have a professional organization and treat it like an actual business. Because at the time, I was still so invested in what I was doing. Like, I had to earn money. Like, I had to generate revenue so I could pay for things in the future. But I just didn't realize how much time and how much responsibility there was in actually building a business around an esports team. So I think that's probably like the number one thing. It's short and sweet. Just really understand what you're getting yourself into. I mean, this is a company and a business that you're going to need to scale so it can get bigger, so you can support players and their salaries and their travel and organizing with the leagues and the tournaments. And it's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, we're part of the only one game right now. We're going to be expanding into other titles, 100 Thieves. But, if we really want to take 100 Thieves and turn it into a legitimate business that's driving revenue every single year, I mean, we have, like I said, 6 employees that's growing to 8 or 9 here very soon, and we still don't have enough help. Like, I think manpower is like the biggest thing that's holding us back right now on time. But there's just so much that you have to think about. It's like if you have an apparel business, you're going to do merchandising. You got to worry about production and manufacturing. And then if you got a content team, you got to worry about who are you hiring for videographers and editors. And then you've got so many other things from the operational level of supporting the players. It's crazy. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Damn. I mean, I knew owning a team would be hard as fuck, but I guess I don't have a grasp for how much shit you actually have to need. Like, the merchandise, the videos, the content, making sure the players are taken care of, doing all the like business side of stuff like sponsorship.
You need a lot, man. It's crazy.
Scar,
I didn't. Oh, go ahead, Scar. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Scar, because let me ask you though, because you put this question on here. Are you planning on making offline TV a team?
Dude, it's actually been talked about. I'm not gonna lie here. In the back end with the higher ups of offline TV, we have talked about where offline TV will go in the future, and we were comfortable with it going into production, becoming a production house. Like Team Liquid has like their production. We were talking about it being an esports team. We were talking about being an apparel thing as well, actually. And so we've had a lot of long conversations, and like everything actually just comes down to the exact same thing Nadeshot just says. It's manpower. So the way I see it is like offline TV, and for people who don't know, that's like kind of my pet project, which has kind of become my main project of like, I guess it's like reality TV, but without the scripted stuff, it's turned into more of like a situation where everyone does multiple jobs. Like if you think, oh, well, you're the owner, you don't have to do shit, you're just an investor. No, you gotta do everything. And so everyone balances like 3 or 4 different jobs, and there's so many like things you have to talk about, like so many things you have to work on, and a lot of it's restricted by manpower
and money. Don't forget money. I mean,
trust me, like my company has been in the red since like its inception, and like hopefully we break even this year, like a year and a half after it started. But like, a
lot of businesses actually don't even start making money until like the 3rd year too, which I've learned. I mean, the burn rate, the money that 100 Thieves is spending, it's a lot, and we're only able to function at this level right now because we took on an investment. So esports has grown to a point where it's not as grassroots as it once used to be. The player salaries, even for a game like Call of Duty, salaries have driven up so high that unless you have a serious revenue drivers with a lot of cash flow, like there's not a lot that you can do to come up and just like start an organization out of thin air. It's a lot, man. It's tough.
All right. My question is, since merch is a big part of how offline TV functions, I'm assuming merch is a big revenue stream for you guys as well. Why is it that the 100 Thieves store has been sold out every time I've clicked on it since its inception? And when you guys
let me break that down.
It's sold out in 20 minutes, I think, because you guys are just like, you guys got some nice stuff.
Thank you so much, man. That really means a lot to me, for real. Thank you for that. I will say this: the thing that you need to understand about merchandise and apparel is if you're not doing it in house and you're not taking care of like the the production of the actual clothing, you have to work with a third party. And right now, we plan on having somebody who's head of merchandise and takes care of the entire process for us. But since we're a new company, we're working with third party organizations, and the third party that we worked with for the first season there was a lack of time for us to be prepared, and then there was a lack of consistency in the production of the actual clothing. So people were receiving, windbreakers and hoodies in the mail that weren't consistent with the other hoodies and hats, and some of the materials weren't the same, and it was just a lot of headache. And when people are spending money with 100 Thieves, I want them to have the highest quality clothing that they could possibly buy. Like if you go into a Nordstrom, or if you go to like a Supreme, or if you go to a Target, I mean, Target alone, it's like, you know what you're getting when you buy it. But since we're shipping the clothing to you, and it's probably like your first time spending money with 100 Thieves, I don't want you to have some janky ass product with like the arm sewn to the chest and it just doesn't fit right. And there was just so many things that were wrong with our first production of clothing that I wanted to make sure that we have the right partner for this season 2. And so the reason why everything has taken so long is because all of the artwork and everything that we're doing is completely custom. And so we want to make sure that we have samples that we have gone through like 2-3 iterations of, so that we know that when you spend money with 100 Thieves and your hoodie arrives in the mail, your windbreaker, you're going to be able to wear it for many, many years to come, because it's the highest quality it can be. And so that's the biggest focus for us. And that's why it's taken so long. Finding solutions for that, I think is the hardest problem, making sure you're working with somebody that you can trust. And we're not in a mad dash to like make a bunch of money off of apparel. Like we really want to take our time. And so that, like I said, it's the third time I'm going to say it, but when you spend money with 100 Thieves, you know that you're getting the best that you could possibly get, and you're spending the money the right way. So we just want to make sure that everything is done right before we just jump out and try to sell clothes, because I mean, yeah, we want to make money and we want to drive revenue to the company, but we're not going to do it, we're not going to do it at the cost of our quality. That's the biggest thing.
You're a good man, Nadeshot. Everything you've been saying on here, dude, you're all right in my book. I like you, dude.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. It's high praise coming from you.
All right, let's go to the next topic now. So why should fans support 100 Thieves over the other LCS teams?
Well, look, I think as somebody who spectates, like say you're a League of Legends fan and you're trying to pick a team, I think a lot of the organizations, they have a lot to offer, whether it comes down to the players that are playing for their team, whether it's the stories that they're telling or the brand. I'm not sure what it is about the other teams that you like, but that's fair. And we're totally we just want to support the League of Legends community. But if you're going to look for a new team to support, I think a few things that 100 Thieves is focusing on is, that apparel, what I just told you guys about, making sure you have the highest quality. We're investing as much money as we possibly can into building our rosters. We were a team that came into the LCS. We're brand new, but we knew that we didn't want to like sit at the bottom of the standings. Like we didn't want to be the least talented team. So we spent a lot of money on these players to make sure that we can compete in the first split. Like we just didn't think it was good for anybody if 100 Thieves came in and we sucked. So we're investing in the players, which in turn I think invests in the community. And then on top of that, I think the biggest thing for me is content. Like if you guys want to connect with the team or you want to connect with our players, we are doing everything and anything we can to create content that is personality driven and actually tells story and conveys emotion. So that when you go and see Cody Sun compete on stage, I think a lot of people know Cody Sun from the time he spent on Immortals and his time they spent at Worlds, and a lot of people shit on Cody, but the guy works so hard. I mean, he probably plays more solo queue than anybody. Maybe not someday, but Cody works so incredibly hard, and we want to show you guys that. So like when our players go up on stage, you know exactly why you're there supporting them, because you're walking day by day, hand in hand with these guys and seeing what they're going through, the triumphs and the tribulations or the trials and tribulations, everything that they're doing and everything that they're trying to do and the goals that we have and the ways that we're trying to succeed. You're going to know that. You're going to know how they got here and why they're on stage and why you want to be a fan or support them. So I think that's the biggest thing for us. We're really just focusing on personality-driven content, building a team and a brand that you guys can really support and get behind, because we're trying to do everything right. And we're a player-owned organization. We're not majority owned by Dan Gilbert. We're completely independent, and everything that we do is in hopes of helping esports elevate to a place where anybody watching, anybody that participates, anybody that's a fan of esports can one day have a career doing this for many, many years to come. So I think holistically, we really just want to help esports grow. We want to grow the 100 Thieves brand, and we want to help the players that come underneath our organization grow their personal brands as well. So there's just a lot of things we're trying to do. I mean, I think a lot of the teams that are competing in the LCS do a lot of things right, but we're just trying to do things a little different because we just have had so much time to watch what has taken place in esports, what people have done well, what they haven't done so well, and we have all the right parts necessary. We've taken all the notes to make sure that we do everything the right way from here on out.
Damn, dude, I want you to sell stuff for me.
Yeah, he just sold it like fuck. I'll say I'm a fan of 100 Thieves because they got Aframu. I like Aframu. He's a
Aframu is the fucking man, dude. He's the best. Yeah, I love Aframu.
He's a nice fucking guy, dude. He's real swell. Scott, what reason would you give them to be fans of 100 Thieves?
Well, like, I follow teams currently not because I like the organizations, but I like the players. And at some point, I'm waiting for the team to be able to drag me in and make me really love the org. I think the closest thing was CLG, but, you know, right now on 100 Thieves, I really love Meteos and I love Aframu. The two players that, like, I used to play, like, with, I personally coached one, and, you know, those are the players, like, I'm looking at the team, I'm like, I connect the most. I feel like the most connected with them. I mean, you got my immediate interest, and now I'm hoping that, like, you can create the storyline to make me a big fan of 100 Thieves. You're doing a good job so far.
We're on the right path?
Yeah, you're doing a good job so far.
That's all that matters. That all matters. And I completely agree. Well, I think the one reason why I've loved participating in the LCS is because I've learned so much about the players, their past, and who they are as people. And so you're right. Like, Meteos is such an articulate young man. Like, I mean, he's been in a lot of different teams, but he conveys his thoughts in ways that you can really tell he cares about winning. Aframu, again, he's like one of the boys. You know, when we first got the house, he'd be up with us till like 3 o'clock in the morning while we were working at the house. And we'd be going to the grocery store on Dr. Pepper runs, and we go in and out together. We have the team dinners. Someday in Ryu, they're hilarious because actually the first time I picked up them from the airport, they acted like they didn't know English, but Ryu's English is actually surprisingly really good. And so now I know that Ryu understood every single word that I was saying. So they're all like, they're hilarious in their own way. And then Cody, man, he's just like this young kid that I just want to pick him up and like, I want to pick him up like Lion King and show him to the world because he works so hard and he's so shy and reserved, but he's got this incredible personality. Like we were in the locker room or the practice room before the match started, and we were talking about Naruto, and Cody's son literally hit like the Chidori like hand signs, and I'm like, Cody, you are the fucking best, dude. You're the spirit animal. I love you. So it's like the players on our team. I don't know if it's just because it's our first team, but I love my team. Like every single individual player, I just feel like it's the perfect storm. So I feel like if we can show you that, the players and who I just love our squad, man. It's incredible.
You got me sold, dude. 100 Thieves, best fucking team in the LCS, dude. You heard it here first.
Let's go. We got Cutie. Hey, you were supposed to be our AD carry.
Yeah, dude, let me say something. I know I'm way too fucking bad to ever fucking do anything ever again. I have no doubt in my mind I'm fucking garbage. I'm always gonna be garbage. I'm just a fucking loser. After being on Dignitas, I will say that was the most humbling experience of my life. Thank you for that, Dignitas. I want to shout out Mr. Michael Odell if you're watching this. Thank you for that. He made me realize just how garbage I truly was. But let's go now. The final topic being the Discord live question and answer. Guys, I know you have some wonderful questions for us, so let's just get right into it. Let's start off with this is a good question, a nice warm up question, dude. Because when 100 Thieves gets the McDonald's sponsorship, I want to hear from Nadeshot himself. What's the best McDonald's menu item?
Ooh. Oh, not even a question. I worked at McDonald's for 4 years. You have to order a McChicken with no mayonnaise, add mac sauce. It's the best item, 100%, hands down. McChicken, no mayonnaise, add mac sauce. It completely changes the sandwich itself.
That's a good answer.
The next time you go to McDonald's, McChicken, no mayo, add mac sauce, it's going to change your life.
Gunnif wants to know, was Cutie Pie actually ever considered for ADC 100 Thieves, or was it just a meme with Afro?
Well, we knew we couldn't afford you, so I think it was off the table.
Dude, let me say, dude, no team, for anyone out there, no team will ever actually. I'm fucking awful. No, I'm fucking awful.
With how much money? I mean, you
No
probably
team can
you probably
afford
do really well. You probably do really well on streaming, and to take you away from that schedule and that relaxed like lifestyle. I don't think there was any amount of money that I could ask you to like, hey, you're gonna come live in LA. I know you just got a house with your girlfriend or your fiance. I'm not sure where that's at, but like there was no way we were gonna be able to like pull you away and say, here's the paycheck that we can afford to give you. Now come bust your ass for 8 hours and lose stream revenue. It's like, I just don't think there was ever anything compelling we could have brought to you.
I'll just say though that like for any team that ever offered me anything, like I don't feel like I'd ever go back to. I don't feel like I deserve to go back to the LCS yet. If I ever went back, I'd play on an academy team first, just to see how fucking awful I really am. Because I mean, I'd like to think I'm good. I like to talk about myself like, yeah, I'm a fucking beast, dude. I'm fucking great, dude. Am I really? I have no fucking idea.
You gotta miss it though, to some extent, right? It's like, yeah, you're really successful, but like you're just
yeah, of course I miss it, man. Yeah, like my biggest regret, I'll say, I never got to really see how good I felt like I was good as fuck. Was I really good as fuck? Probably not. I have no idea. You can't really judge a player until he's been on multiple teams, played with like multiple players, and really gotten a feel for like how they do under different environments. Maybe I'm good. I don't feel like
I've been on multiple teams. I've played with you. I think I'm a pretty good in terms of like relative talent. You're fucking good.
The thing is,
yeah,
I don't think I'm good enough to be in the LCS. I think if I ever came back, I'd have to play on an academy team and not even prove it to like other people. I'd have to prove it to myself that like I deserve to be.
If you weren't streaming last year and you wanted to be on an LCS team and you would have been given. You did get an offer, but you would have been given more than one offer.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know I did.
You gotta believe in yourself though, because if you're not gonna believe in yourself, who is? Like,
dude, I mean, wait, I believe on myself. I know I'm the fucking best, dude. Like, I tell myself.
Hold up, fuck this academy shit, bro. You could walk onto any LCS team you want and start, dude. Just go for it.
I don't know about that, dude. I think you're giving me too much credit.
No. You make plenty of money, dude. Brother. Dude, I think you need to come back at least for one split. Fuck the academy team. Just jump on an LCS team and let's get to work, baby. Dude, let's go.
I'd say I'd want to come back to LCS just so I could fucking shit talk everyone, dude. Just because that'd be fun. Because like before I was in the LCS, it was like, I don't really want to shit talk anyone. Like, I'm just going to get shit on. But now it's like, dude, I got nothing to lose. If I came back to the LCS, fuck you, fuck Double Lift. He can eat a dick, and fuck all of you, dude. I'm the fucking best.
You could be the change that you want to see in the LCS.
Yeah, but I'd have to prove to myself that I can get away with that, because unless I can back it up, I can't be fucking 0-10. Like, fuck all of you. I'm the goddamn best. I'm losing every game, getting my shit stomped.
That would be even better. That'd be incredible. If you're talking a bunch of shit and you get stomped out.
Because when you win and you're 0-10, think of how much more shit you can talk. Like,
yeah, that's
you
true.
just lost to a 0-10 team.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there. I don't know, man. I just feel like.
And then you can, even if you get your ass beat, at least you can take comfort in knowing that you're just gonna go home and roll around the bed of money that you're making, dude. You're gonna be just fine, dude. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's just go. Just do it. I don't care if you're playing against us. I don't care if you end up on 100 Thieves one day. Just play for one split, man. Life's too short. Who knows where League of Legends is gonna be in 7, 8, 10 years from now? I hope it's bigger than ever and they got a new. I don't know where it's gonna go, but you only got one opportunity. I'm about to play some like Eminem music, bro. You need to just get back on stage and start kicking ass.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll come back, but I don't think I deserve it yet. Especially not right now, because let me say, me and Shifter, dude, we were duo-queuing today. We got our ass fucking beat every game, dude. Shifter demoted to Master. Like, how fucking pathetic does it have to be for a player of Shifter's caliber to be Master? Like, I don't know if Shifter's watching this, if he's streaming right now. Absolute garbage player. Like, this is the people compare me to in solo queue, by the way. Like, people say, like, Shifter should go back to the LCS queue. Shifter's fucking Master, dude. He's not going anywhere near the LCS right now. I'm at least Challenger, so I'm just gonna.
Did you eat before you stream though? Haven't you been live for like 9-10 hours?
Yeah, I've been live for 10 hours. Dude, I've been playing League of Legends. Let me tell you something. When I was a child, I played video games for like 10 hours a day every single fucking day. So this has just become like the norm for me.
I hear you, bro, but you got to keep your blood sugar up when you're playing these high intensity Q matches, bro. Just make sure you're eating. That's probably why you're getting shit on. That's when I get shit on.
Dude, let me tell you, I can tell you why I'm getting shit on right now. It's because the Riot Games matchmaking matches me with a fucking platinum player. Dude, I could go. Let me tell you something. I could go on and on about this shit. Yeah, I could go on and on about this shit for like hours and hours about how matchmaking. Scar, you know what I'm talking about? Like matchmaking right now, it puts me. I'm Challenger. It puts me with a fucking platinum platinum, dude. Not even diamond. Not even master tier. Platinum. Like how the fuck does this matchmaking make any sense?
I think I speak for everyone when I say we 100% agree. It's your team that's holding you back always.
Thank you.
It's like a hostage situation for you. You know, it must feel really bad on a day-by-day basis. I'm so happy you can overcome the struggle 10 hours a day and deliver quality content to us.
All right, well, I appreciate that.
That's crazy,
Scott.
Man. You're coming back to LCS. You heard it here first.
No about that, but you know, because I'm getting real heated right now talking about my garbage ass teammates. We're just gonna go for one more question. The final question for you, Nadeshot, Mr. Nadeshot, the DB Blues. He wants to know, when's the fucking merch coming back? He wants a date. This man will accept nothing less. When is the merch
coming back? All right, listen. I said this on stream last night. Okay. We are going to put our game day jerseys on sale about a week from now. They're going on sale, a very limited release, just testing out our process for merch. But season 2, the gear that everybody's been asking for, and we got some bangers coming for season 2. That's probably a couple weeks out still because, we're waiting on, yeah, it is because again, dude, the sampling process is no joke, making sure that everything is tip top shape.
Well, and I just want to say, I can help with the sampling process. If you need people.
Oh, yeah. For real. I
am very good at being able to take samples.
Scar, I don't know what's Discord, but you're breaking up. I can't. No, hey man, listen. Season 2 dropping probably a couple weeks from now, but jerseys, a very limited run of jerseys going on sale a week from now.
All right, there's your answer, my friend. And that's going to conclude Beyond the Rift episode number 100 with the one and only Mr. Nadeshot. I want to thank you for coming out here.
No, thank you for having me, man. Not to cut you off, but it was an honor. I know you guys been doing this show for a minute now. Cutie Pie, your career speaks for itself. Scar, you as well. I really appreciate you guys inviting me and taking the time, man. It was fun talking to you guys.
Hey, it's fun talking to you, and I want to give a shout-out to the people watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. That's going to be it for us. Peace.